No matter what you go through, keep dreaming. Keep going, don't quit, keep reaching. You can be the best you wanna be, gotta believe it. Keep the faith, the mustard seed is all needed. You gotta
Well, good
want
morning.
it as bad as you
Welcome back to
breathe.
the Keep Dreaming podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Charleston Gurley. So I just want to give you a special shout out. Those of you that are listening in, those of you that are tuning in, I just want to give you a special shout out. We are now getting ready to cover episode 2 of season 3. And remember, I titled this season Stewarding Over the Process. So what does it look like being a steward or being able to manage over the process that God has you in? But before we go any further, I want you to do something for me. I want you to go to the comment section. There's going to be a pinned comment. And what I want you to do, I want you to click that link. Remember, I said that I was building a community, the Keep Dreaming community. And inside that community, you're going to get access to free content, free resources, all of those different things. But in order to get access, you got to go click that link that's in the comment section. This week alone, I'm dropping my free beginners real estate course. There's about 26 videos, over 4.5 hours of content of everything that I learned in the real estate game. So if you are interested in real estate, interested in investing, you're going to get access. But in order to do that, you have got to go click the link in the pinned comment section. And this is on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Go click that link. You're going to get access, and then you'll be able to get into that course. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into episode 2. We're going to get into our coffee segment. But as we get ready to get into our coffee segment, I want you to envision something. I want you to envision driving in your car, and I want you to envision having no headlights. So there is no light showing in the darkness, and you're driving at night. And so you're driving, and all of a sudden, fear starts to appear. All of a sudden, doubt starts to appear. And my question to you is, in that moment, what would you do? Would you continue driving? Would you continue going forward? Or would you press pause and go back the other way? And so I just want to leave you with that question as we get ready to go into our coffee segment. I just want you to ponder on that, because the title for today's episode is going to be Morning Coffee and Midnight Faith. So without further ado, I want you to grab your coffee. Today, again, I'm drinking a dark, bold coffee. Keyword dark. But that's what I'm drinking on today. So if you got your coffee, your tea, your mug, whatever it is, let's do a cheers. Now let's get into today's episode. So going back to the question that I asked you, what would you do if you're driving in the middle of the night, your headlights didn't work, it's pure darkness in front of you, but the destination that you're trying to get to is on the other side of that darkness. But fear starts to come into play. Doubt starts to come into play. Would you turn around and go back into the other direction? Or would you have enough faith to keep driving? Would you have enough faith to keep going? That's the question that I need you to be able to answer by the end of this episode. If I go back to episode 1, we talked about stewardship. I introduced you to the word stewardship. And we basically said that stewardship is you being able to manage what is in your circle. You being able to manage what is in your control. But the thing about all of that is that for a certain period of time, we are all able to manage a lot of different things. And the reason that we're able to do that is based on a word called motivation. But I want to share with you what motivation is. Motivation is an emotion. Motivation is temporary. It doesn't last. And so what you may start off as, you're motivated by it. But then eventually you start to get burned out. Eventually you start to look for the results. Eventually you start to look for the rewards. But what happens when it's not time for the reward? What happens when what you have been managing, what you have been tasked to manage has been 1, 2, 3 years at this point, and you're still not seeing the result? Darkness starts to come in, and at that moment, you start to create doubt. A part of you wants to return. A part of you wants to retreat. What do you do in those moments? And so if I had to give an explanation of what I mean by motivation, motivation is an emotion. And the thing about emotions is that they come and they go. Think about this. Imagine being on a roller coaster. On a roller coaster, you have highs and lows. Those are your emotions. You can have all the motivation in the world today, but something happens tomorrow, and then that motivation fades. That motivation goes. And so the things that you have been managing is very well to be orchestrated that in the beginning, you felt all this motivation. In the beginning, you felt good. And so you were able to manage all of these different things. You were able to steward all these different things. Then life starts to happen. Different things start to happen. Storm starts to come, and you start to experience doubt. But more importantly, you start to experience darkness. What do you do in those moments? What is your faith telling you in those moments? That's what we're going to be talking about on today. Because when I think about coffee, coffee has a key element in it, which is comprised of caffeine. Caffeine is going to give me that kickstart. Now, I know that the caffeine is not going to last the entire day, but it's going to give me a kickstart at that moment. But after that kickstart, what do I do? What do I rely on for the rest of the day? So the motivation is like caffeine and coffee. It's going to get me going. It's going to get me started. Now I have this burst of energy, but once it starts to fade away, I got to have something that's going to allow me to continue to go. And that's why I titled this episode Morning Coffee, Midnight Faith. It's going to be faith that starts to carry you. It's going to be the faith in God, faith in Christ that allows you to outlast the temporary. We talk about that all the time. I got to be willing to outlast the temporary. But this episode is going to be super important because this episode is going to be encouraging to you as a viewer, you as a listener. I was talking to my homeboy the other day, and one of the things that we talked about how in this world it's difficult. There are going to be trials, there are going to be tribulations, but we don't allow enough of belief, enough of pouring into where people are just having hard times. They have not done anything wrong, and I'm speaking to you right now. You haven't done anything wrong. You haven't made any mistakes intentionally, but life has happened to you, and that has created doubt, that has created fear, and now you're asking yourself, you're questioning yourself, have I done something wrong? Have I made a mistake? But I want to encourage you right now in this moment, I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe that you're going to outlast the temporary. I believe that you're going to make it to whatever destination that God has for you. And so we got to have enough pouring in and pouring out in order to be able to encourage everybody along the way. Sometimes you're on this journey alone and you feel like all you can depend on is yourself. But we are called to be light of the world. We are called to be encouragers, to be walk alongside one another. And those are going to be the things that you need help with when you're facing the darkness. So it's not just going to be faith, but it's going to be people walking alongside of you and all of those different things. And so the scripture, the Bible reading that we're going to come from today is going to be out of Matthew chapter 5. So if you grab your Bible, I'm going to be talking from Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through 16. And so I'm reading out of the Message Bible, and it says, let me tell you why you are here. You're here to be salt seasoning that brings out the God flavors of this earth. If you lose your saltiness, how will people taste godliness? You've lost your usefulness and will end up in the garbage. Here's another way to put it. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm putting you on a light stand. Now that I put you there on a hilltop on a light stand, I need you to shine. Keep open house, be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up with God, this generous Father in heaven. We are called to be the light. And right now in this moment, I'm being the light. Somebody is listening in and they've been in a dark season. Somebody is viewing this YouTube right now and they've been having storm after storm after storm. And I don't know why that has happened to you. I know that all things work for the good of those that love the Lord. So I know that it's playing a reason, it's playing a purpose in your life right now. But what I want to tell you right now in this moment, I believe in you. I believe that you're going to overcome that. I believe that you're going to accomplish that. I believe that you're going to outlast that. I want to speak light into you right now. Sometimes in our darkest moments, that's when a light appears. And sometimes we're looking for God to bring that light, but God has instructed us to be the light, to be the salt of the earth. And that brings out the God flavors. That brings out some of people when they are facing their darkest, deepest moments. And so that's going to be my voice to you right now in this moment. But my encouragement to you is don't let this simply just be me. You on the other end. There may be somebody that you run into on this week and you got to encourage them. There may be somebody that you know that needs some uplifting, that needs some positivity right now. Share this video with them. Send them a message. Lead them to Matthew chapter 5. In our deepest, darkest moments, there's an opportunity for a light to be shown. And my question to you is that will you either be that light or will you receive that light? Stewardship. That's what we talked about in the last episode. And when I talked about stewardship, I said that was managing. And I talked about how you had to manage 4 things. You had to manage yourself, mind, body, and soul. You had to manage your time, your gifts, and your assignment. But somewhere along the journey, it starts to get dark. Somewhere along the journey, you start to get tired. And so in this episode, I want to cover 3 lessons. The first lesson, Darkness is not proof that God has left. I'm gonna say that one more time. Darkness is not proof that God has left. What do you mean? Sometimes when you're alone in the journey, darkness starts to creep in, and we begin to think that maybe God has left. God has abandoned us. God is not hearing us. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Everything is intentional that has been put on this earth, and everything plays a role in a specific way. If I go back to Genesis, in the beginning, darkness was already here. But you want to know about the order. Think about the order. In the beginning, darkness was over the face of the earth, but there was somebody that sat above the darkness, and that was God. God sat above the darkness. So what me and you may perceive as darkness is not dark to him. He is above it. He is able to hover all over it, to reign over it all. But in those moments where doubt has started to create within us, we start to have worry. We start to have all these different things, and it's because sometimes we can't see. Sometimes we can't see what's beyond, but remember I said that it's going to be faith. After that caffeine kicks out, after the motivation fades, it's got to be something that is substantial that helps you even in the darkest moments, and it's going to be faith. But there's one other thing that I want to share with you in this moment. Sometimes we have a command. If I go back to Genesis, it said that we were created in the image of the Creator. We were created in his likeness. And so if God is the ultimate creator, we have creative ability as well. And so there is power in the tongue. And sometimes you got to speak a thing. And so whenever you're feeling a dark moment, you know that it's not proof that God has left. You know God is still there with you, but there may be something that you need to do in that moment. And the command that you need to say, just like God said in the beginning when there was darkness, he said, let there be light. When you're facing your dark moment, when you're facing doubt, when the money is low, when the funds aren't there, when you just lost your job, God, let there be light. When you are on a path and you're not understanding why you're on that path, God, let there be light. Whatever darkness that you're facing in this moment, in this season, give the command, God, let there be light. There's a book that I want to reference right now in this moment. And this book is titled Commanding Your Morning. And it's by an author named Cindy Trim. And that's why I learned the command, let there be light. She emphasizes when you're facing your dark moments, God, let there be light. When you're in the midnight hour and you're not understanding what it is that God is wanting you to do, why all these different things have happened to you in this moment, God, let there be light. One of the beautiful Bible stories that I could relate to in this moment is the book of Job. Job thought that he had sinned against God. But what he didn't realize is that that was the furthest thing from the case. The enemy had came to God and asked if he could do all these different things to Job, and basically was trying to put a wager that I bet if I do all these things to your servant Job, he gonna flip on you. And what ended up happening is Job didn't flip. Now Job got frustrated. Job, he was borderline. They don't talk about that. But in the end, he didn't flip. But in that moment, in that midst of darkness, Job didn't understand what was going on. He thought that he was receiving punishment. And so a lot of times when we're facing our dark moments, we don't understand initially what's going on. But in those dark moments, it's an opportunity for you to invite God in. At the beginning where I talked about God sits above the darkness, when you're facing your dark moment, invite him in. Hey, God, come join me in this darkness. God, come show me the way. Bring him into that midst, knowing that it's not punishment, knowing that it's not some type of, punishment or disciplinary action, but you're right where you're supposed to be. Darkness is a part of this world. Darkness is a part of your life. So that means it has to travel with you. That means that you're going to face it time and time again. But what will you do when it comes to next time? What will you do when it comes 5, 10 years from now? What you're going to do is you're going to take this command that I said, and you're going to say, let there be light. You are made in the image of the Creator. I told you I believe in you, but you got to believe in yourself. If you know that you are made in the image of the Creator, you have creative ability. And so in those moments, God, let there be light. In those moments, God, come in this with me. Join me in this. I know you sit above. I know you reign over this, but in this moment, I need to invite you in. In this moment, I need you right here with me, walking with me. I know that the enemy is seeking in whom he can devour in this moment. Now, I won't allow myself to be devoured. I know you placed me in this moment for a reason. I know you placed me at this point in my life for a specific reason. Remember, I said God believes something in you, but the question then becomes in your deepest, darkest moments, what do you believe about yourself that God already sees? God already knew that Job was not going to flip. Job didn't know that, though. It took Job a minute to have the understanding of what was truly happening. God already knew he wasn't going to flip. So the question is, what will you do? So the first lesson that I want you to sit with is darkness is not proof that God is left. The second lesson that I want us to sit with is that you were created to carry light. If I go back to Matthew chapter 5, specifically verse 14, it talks about, here's another way to put it. You're here to be light. So we were here, put here to be able to create and carry light. Going back to Genesis, when darkness was on the face of the earth, God didn't fight the darkness. He didn't have to. All he simply said was, let there be light. So you don't have to fight your situation. Sometimes we panic. Sometimes we get scared and we start to fight. We start to exert all of this energy. That's what the enemy wants you to do. But rather take a step back. You have everything you need on the inside of you. I'm going to say that again. You have everything that you need on the inside of you. So take a step back. You have power. And the power that you have is the command, let there be light. But not only let there be light in the darkness that you're facing in your world, you are also commanded to go be the light in other people's world. So sometimes when you're facing those dark moments, the best thing that you can do, go be a light to somebody else. Go out, give, go out and serve, go be a light to somebody else, despite what you may be focusing on, despite what you may be dealing with. If you go be a light to somebody else is coming to be a light to you. So I'm gonna say that one more time. If you go out and if you'll be a light to somebody else, you gotta trust and know that somebody else is coming to be a light to you. We're all a part of this thing that we call the circle of life. One of my favorite movies is Lion King, and the thing that they talk about in that movie is the circle of life. Everything flows in the way that it's supposed to. So even if you are in your darkest moment right now, it's part of the flow. Even if you're experiencing a loss right now, it's part of the flow. Even if you're experiencing heartbreak, maybe you just got let go, you're experiencing the flow of life. And I want to encourage you in this moment that darkness won't last forever. That darkness is doing something in you. It's pulling something up out of you that maybe you didn't know that was there. But the only way for it to be pulled up out of you is for the darkness to come. Out of the darkness, God created everything. So out of your dark season, something is being created, something is being cultivated, something is being born in your deepest, darkest moments. And so I want to encourage you to let that happen. Don't fight it. Don't feel like you're left behind. Don't feel like you've made any type of mistakes. You're right where you're supposed to be. A lot of times we are only encouraged when we sit at the top of the mountain. But I was listening to somebody before it. A lot of times when you look at a mountain, it's dry. There is no greenery at the top of a mountain. It's just sometimes it's snow, sometimes it's dry. But when you think about where is fertilization, when you think about where is greenery, where is water, it's at the bottom. It's in the depth of the valley. And so a lot of times we build our lives about being able to get to the top, but it's dry at the top. But where is the fruit? Sometimes it's in the bottom. Sometimes it's in the depth of that valley. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. God is with you in that valley. God is with you in that dark moment. But in that dark moment, something is being born. Something is being cultivated. There is a light that is being born, because from that experience that you are experiencing, that will give you the wisdom and the power to be able to motivate somebody else, to be able to inspire somebody else. But you could only have got that in the dark moment, in your dark season. So learn to embrace that and learn that you are carrying something special, but more importantly, you are carrying the light. The last lesson that I want you to sit with: steward the spark until discipline creates the fire. I'm gonna say that again. Steward the spark until discipline creates the fire. When I think about that lesson that I want you to learn, stewardship is managing. So maybe in a certain moment, you got to manage that spark, knowing that the spark is not going to last. And so what do you do when the spark doesn't last or the spark fades away in that moment? Is going to be your discipline. Discipline is that thing where you show up for the dream, you show up for yourself, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what's going on, with the hope and the understanding that discipline, being able to continue on, being able to continue driving. Going back to the question that I asked in the very beginning of this episode, if it was dark, your headlights went out, but there was a destination that you had to get to, would you keep driving? If in that moment you said yes, that is you saying yes to the process. That is you saying yes to discipline. So when I think about discipline, that means I keep driving. That means I keep showing up, knowing that if I continue to do the same thing over and over, and I bring God into this midst, what was once a spark is now going to create fire. And now once that fire comes, now I get everything that I need to push me on through the darkness. Darkness can't last. It is temporary for a moment. So you got to find something that's going to get you to the other side of the darkness, back into the light. And it's going to be discipline. Discipline is not sexy. Discipline is doing things when your feelings are hurt, doing things when you don't feel like it, doing things when you're tired, but you know that there is prosperity in it. You know that there is favor in it. There is something that you have got to get up out of it. And so you got to be able to steward the spark in those moments until discipline creates the fire. Fire is going to be that thing that blasts through the darkness. Fire is going to be that thing that burns away the things that can no longer stay, that can no longer last. And when you come out of it, because you're going to come out of it, when you come out of it, you're going to be a better person. You're going to be more prosperous. You're going to have more light. You're going to have more favor. You're going to be more grand. You're going to be more joyful. You're going to be more blissful. And what happens sometimes when we get out of the darkness, we look back and we thank God for it. It's just in that moment. It's just for a full moment. And I want to be encouraging to you. You got it. And I'm going to say this again. I believe in you. Yea, though I walk, yea, though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, God is with you. We talked about this in season 2, when sometimes we just got to say, man, God is with me. Just that simple reminder, even when you can't see him, even when you don't believe that maybe he's right there in that moment, God is with you. The other command that you have now, remember I said from these episodes, I want you to have a toolbox of tools that you can pull out. Just because you know that God is with you, now you can say, God, let there be light. There is a command that you can say. You are made in the image of the Creator. That means you have creative ability. That means you have greatness residing on the inside of you. So sometimes the dark moment is just there to pull it up out of you. You would have never said it from today. You would have never said it before if you didn't experience what you're experiencing right now, if you weren't going through what you were going through right now. And so now is your opportunity to use it. Don't let these tools just sit in your pockets and never use them. God is going to use everything up out of you. And so in these moments, God, let there be light. God is with me. I know that I am more than a conqueror. But more importantly, I know that all things work for the glory of those that love God. So in this moment, just because the darkness is here, it's doing something. It's doing something powerful. It's going to be a perspective shift. It's going to be a mindset shift. You have only been given one life, but the one life that you have been given, you are called to live it in a great fashion. So in that moment, you got to go be the light. In that moment, you got to create the light. Darkness exists, but so does light. And so in those moments, I'm going to bring this light in. In this moment, I'm not going to let this darkness stop me. Greater is he that's within me than he that's within the world. I got to keep pushing. I got to keep going. I can't sell the oil. My dreams matter. I matter. Telling yourself those affirmations. Remember, I said part of stewardship is being able to manage the soul. What are you telling yourself right now in this moment? Do you tell yourself that you're defeated, or do you tell yourself you're more than a conqueror? Do you tell yourself you're more than a winner? Do you tell yourself that you can overcome anything with God on the inside of you? What are you telling yourself? But even if you can't tell yourself right now in this moment, I'm telling you, you got this. I'm telling you, you can do this. I'm telling you that this season won't last forever, but this season was purposeful for you. You're going to look back on this season 5, 10 years from now. You're going to be grateful for it. You're going to be thankful for it. And even if you aren't in a dark moment, even if you aren't in a dark season, share this message with somebody that is. Go be the light to somebody that needs you right now. Go be the light somewhere in this world, somewhere in this moment. Take this message right now here today and go out and create that light. Go out and be that light. Going back to the title of this episode, Morning Coffee, Midnight Faith. It's going to be that motivation in the moment to give you that spark, but it's going to be the faith in God and the faith in yourself to outlast the temporary, to get through the entire day, not just the morning, to get through the afternoon, to get through the evening, but more importantly, to get through midnight, because on the other side of that is the morning again. If the sun is up, I'm up. Regardless of what happened the day before, regardless of what darkness is trying to do with me, if the sun is up, I'm up. And remember, we said that we're not talking about the S-U-N, but we're talking about the S-O-N. And the sun, he has already risen. So if he's already risen, that means I got an opportunity every single day to get up. I got an opportunity every single day to make it happen. I got an opportunity every single day to bring out the light, to go pour into other people, to be the salt of the earth, to be the salt of the world, to inspire people. Inspiration is going to be that thing that changes you to help you to create impact that will change the world. Inspiration is going to be that thing that changes you to go out into the world to create impact that will change the world. This episode was for you. This moment is for you. And I'm talking directly to you. And so if you feel like this episode was of encouragement to you, if you feel like this episode was that caffeine that you needed for your day, the caffeine that you needed for your life, the caffeine that you needed for your world, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. I want you to bring other people in. More importantly, I want you to make sure that you go to the comment section and you click that link and you sign up for the Keep Dreaming community. We're doing amazing things, and everything is going to be free. Everything is going to be free. So I want you to make sure that you go and you sign up and you be a part of the Keep Dreaming community. I pray and hope that your week is going to be amazing for the rest of the week. Thank you all for every day tuning in, for showing up, for subscribing. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button in the link. And I want to see you back here next week for episode 3 of season 3 of the Keep Dreaming podcast. As always, peace, love, keep dreaming.
You gotta be able to dream again. After you accomplish that one dream, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to God, you owe it to your family to be able to do it again, to dream again. But when you dream again, you're not only dreaming for